There's an SQL feature that can help you simplify your queries and even improve performance. It's not indexes, it's not common table expressions, and it's even not formatting your code in all lowercase so the database has to think less. Here's a query that shows the number of sales of books for each author, where they have sold more than one book. This is on a Postgres database, but the concept works on many others. We can run the query and see the results. What if we have another query that finds the number of sales, but where authors have sold more than 5 books? It's a similar query with a different value here. There's a bit of complexity in this query, and the database does a bit of work to calculate this multiple times. There is a way to simplify these queries and even improve performance. The feature I'm referring to is called a temporary table, or a temp table for short. It's a table you can create and populate with data, but it only exists for the duration of your session. It's deleted or removed at the end of your session. It isn't created permanently on the database. How can it help? It's helpful because it can store the data in a format that makes it easier to work with, such as aggregating a complex query like this. You calculate and populate the table once and refer to it multiple times. This makes your query simpler because it moves the logic to a single place and you refer to the temporary table from then on. You also have more control. You may not have permission to create a proper table, but you can usually create a temporary table. Let's see an example. We'll create a new temporary table in Postgres to store the number of books for each author. The syntax is slightly different in each database, but the concept is the same. In Postgres, it's almost the same as a regular table, but the only difference is that you add the word temporary after create and before table. We run this and the table is created. Now we need to add some data into it. We can do this with an insert into select. We write an insert statement and then copy our select query from earlier and paste it in here. We remove any logic about the minimum number of books, as this differs for each query we run on this. Now we have populated this table, we can select from it. We can see all of our records here, and our query is much simpler. We can filter this for records where the book count is more than 1. This shows the same result as the query at the start of the video. What if we want to show authors that have sold more than 5 books? We can simply change the 1 to a 5 and run the query. We see the data here. Now, changing this value is just as easy as the original query, but there's an improvement in performance. The calculation of the authors and books sold has already been done, and the data is stored in the temp table, so all we need to do is query that table. Using temporary tables is a very useful technique. You can use them whenever you have more complex queries, or when you don't want to or need to create a real table. They can improve performance and simplify your queries, especially if you calculate or view the same data more than once. There's a similar feature in SQL that when people learn about it, they realize how great it is. Watch this video next to learn what a common table expression is and how it can really improve your SQL. Thanks for watching.